Hello everybody, Jake your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw, and ooh, what an ominous title for a video. You know, it's October. As you can see, it's spooky season in Pokemon Unite. And you know, there have been a few spooky things going on with the game lately. And I wanted to talk to you about that. I wanted to talk to you about what I am doing. You know, it's funny. Every October for Pokemon has been, it's like every single October outside of the first one, obviously, because the game had like just released. Every single October for Pokemon Unite has been an absolute disaster. Every time people have said the game is dying is October. It's like just far away enough from the anniversary and the excitement around the World Championships, and then just far away enough from something else starting. There are some Pokemon on the horizon, but like big events just happened. There was a huge like energy push towards the game, and then everything has kind of chilled out a bit. And this October has been different, but really no different in sentiment around the game. So unless you've been living under a rock or you've been too busy munching on all of your lucky ice pops to notice, two events came to the game: the Treasure Chest Challenge and the Lucky Ice Pops Ice Poppin' Challenge. The Lucky Ice Pops event. And these two events were met with, well, I would say widespread condemnation and also general confusion, plus a really disappointing announcement from Unite. That announcement being that Pokemon Unite will be closing in Belgium and the Netherlands. I have the petition here on change.org to reverse this decision. I'll have a link to this in the description of this video as well if you're interested in signing this and letting Pokemon Unite know that you would like them to reverse this decision. The basics, on September 27th, they announced that they would end services in Belgium and Netherlands next year, November 2025. And then they gave, like, you know, some ideas about what would be happening with that. They will stop the EOS Gems and subscription services on October 31st. And now the game will no longer be available in those two countries. And obviously there's a clear reason why this is happening, and there's a clear reason why many games won't come out in Belgium and the Netherlands and possibly more countries here in the future. Jeez, my hair's a mess. Now, if you've played mobile games or gacha games or anything like that for a while, you've seen events like this treasure chest event, these lucky ice pops, maybe a little less. This prize machine here also really falls in line. Any type of loot box, any type of game where you are opening packs of things I'll talk about here in a minute. All of these are not going to be available in these countries. They're not going to be available in Belgium, the Netherlands, and again, any other country that passes laws like this. In general, I have to say the laws are very good. It's just the first countries that are going to stick their head out of the sand to enact laws like this are also not going to get these video games. And unfortunately, when a company is comparing a market like China or wherever else to a market like Belgium and the Netherlands, there really is no comparison. I mean, Belgium and the Netherlands have the population of a city in the United States, and compare that to China, well, you could see why this decision was made. I have to be honest in saying I don't think the change petition will actually get them to reverse their decision. What it appears to be to me is that Pokemon Unite is moving forward towards a global or 95%-ish global version that will include the Chinese version of the game, and they're not looking to develop multiple versions of this to apply to every different country's laws. Again, I think these laws are good. They're good for consumers, but the consumers in those countries will not be playing games like this. They will not be playing many mobile games, any gacha games, any games from Supercell, any games from, well, they won't be playing Pokemon Pocket. Anything that asks you to contribute money and you then are given a probability of unlocking things will not exist in these countries. And unfortunately, that is the direction 99% of mobile games are going. You would have to have a company design a specific version for that region. I hope they do. I have to be honest, I don't think they're going to. I think the situation overall really sucks. I'm very disappointed in it. It's one of the most frustrating times in Unite from a, like, it's one of, they've had some frustrating times, but it's one of the most frustrating times in Unite just from purely like a consumer point of view. As far as expensive hollowware and things like that, Unite has always had a clear delineation between things that cost money, lots of money, and affect only the cosmetics of something, and everything else in the game, right? And this is the first time that these decisions are actually having an impact on players being able to play, or any type of balance or anything like that in the game, which is the worst. I remember when the idea that the sparkling spray, I think that's what they called it, would give you some sort of stat effect and everything, and everyone rightfully said that would be horrible. You are giving people the opportunity to pay to win. This is a new weird situation where you're giving people the opportunity to not play the game because you are making money in a way that is illegal in that country. It's just really unfortunate, and it's going to suck to lose all these players. I recognize they are gaining a massive amount of players in another new region and a ton of money, but it is disappointing for sure. I have to say, it's been interesting being in the position that I am in, because I've heard from a lot of people like this more than anything, this like decision here for Sylveon I've never gotten more people reaching out to me, not only through comments and things like that on YouTube videos, on Twitter. People are sending me emails. People who don't interact with my content in a direct way often will say, my son or daughter plays this game and they're very disappointed in this event. So I understand that this is like, the monetization around this event is really unfortunate. It's so unfortunate because, as I've said before, I know how these games operate, and I recognize that the economy of a free-to-play game is largely supported by a small number of people who pay a lot of money. It's just not something we've seen in Unite in this form, and none of it feels good. As I made another video about it, it doesn't feel good from the free-to-play player's perspective. I guess maybe a few people will get very, very lucky. And it doesn't feel good from a person's paying perspective. It just doesn't feel good all around, especially with a really cool piece of hollowware. Did I say hollowware? A really cool piece of hollowware. And then a bizarre Lucky Ice Pops challenge that doesn't really make sense for the player. It just feels like these decisions are all put into the game because this is what's coming to Unite, but they're all pretty half-baked and none of them are really ready. And because of that, you get a not good situation for basically everyone involved. So I understand why people are so disappointed. I want to thank so many people for reaching out, saying you appreciate my content, and you're really disappointed in this event, because I understand it. So I guess that would be a good time to talk about me and Unite and what I've been up to. So if you've been watching me lately, you notice that every day I'm playing some Unite and some Pokemon TCG Pocket. It is a new game coming out. It is in soft launch in New Zealand, where I have moved for the month before playing it globally, and I've been really loving it. In fact, I'm very thankful that this game released during a super stressful time in Unite. But it's made me think a lot about Unite, and it's made me think a lot about my content, and talking to so many of you has also made me think a lot about what I'm going to do. I feel like you can see when a game is going to be something. As a content creator, I feel like I've spent a lot of time like noticing little like trends and like, oh, is this game going to do something? Is this game going to do something? I don't only want to make content for one game forever, right? That's never been my goal. I like video games. I wanted to make video game content, and that's what I've been fortunate enough to get to do. Pokemon TCG Pocket, I think, is going to be a huge game. I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know if it's going to have the legs that Unite does, especially with Unite, moving into this global version with China. And this game, I think, is going to be modernized in some really cool ways. I don't know if it's going to have the same lifespan, but I can tell you I think Pocket is going to be a big deal. It's in soft launch right now, and people are as excited for it as a game that has been out with a brand new event happening. I'm talking about Unite, right? But I love what I've gotten to do with Pokemon Unite. I love the community that I've built with it. I love getting to play the game. I think I've talked about this a lot. Unite's saving grace throughout all of the weird decisions that they've made, and they've made some good ones too. I mean, let's face it, it's not all terrible stuff. Like, they've picked great Pokemon to be in the game, and they have created an extremely fun game that I've loved. I've loved playing it outside of a few metas that they absolutely made me hate the game. But I've loved playing it, and I've loved playing it along with all of you, and I've loved sharing my excitement for this game with this really cool community that's popped up around it. Lucky Ice popped up around it. I don't want to walk away from this, even though I can see maybe on the future that there is, in the future, there's like maybe like a little grass is greener happening. I will continue to play Pokemon TCG Pocket, and I'm going to continue making content for it. If you haven't seen that, it's on my second channel. I have a ton of it. I've been loving it. But throughout all this, especially with like a lot of you reaching out, I felt like I wanted to make this video because I needed to say that throughout their good decisions and bad decisions, I'm going to be playing Unite probably till the wheels fall off this thing. And I know some people won't, and I get that. And I would highly recommend, if you're upset, if it's making you unhappy, if you don't like it anymore, if you're mad at it, you have a million things to spend your time on. And I have a million things I could spend my time on, especially as a content creator. And I just wanted to say that I'm going to keep spending my time here because I love it. I love this community, and I'm going to keep talking about things that I think are awful. Whether that's, whether that is good or bad for me in the long run with Pokemon or however that works, I have no idea. I cast the championships for Unite. They've never said I could say something, could not say something. They've never reached out to me and said like, hey, maybe you're a little too critical about Mewtwo, or a little too critical about this treasure chest thing. But I'm going to keep speaking my mind regardless of what that means for me, because I care about the game, and I think it's important to tell the truth about whatever is happening with the game. I'm going to keep playing it. I'm going to keep making content for it. It's not all going to be negative because I can't live in that space forever, but I can guarantee you that when something is going on that I feel like needs to be talked about, I'll continue talking about it, just like I have done with Mewtwo and Zacian and Zoroark and its weird holoware, and now this bad monetization that unfortunately is a piece of what is forcing the game to close in Belgium and the Netherlands. I have to be honest with you also, I don't think it's just this. I don't think it's just this. I think it's a lot of things. And the fact that Pokemon Pocket is not releasing there, I think basically every free-to-play game is going to monetize in a very similar fashion to this. And unfortunately for those markets, that's going to mean that games just are not coming out there. And I think that's a real shame. But I wanted to make this video because I feel like there's a dark cloud hanging over Unite. And I am still going to be here standing under that dark cloud, getting rained on with all of you. And I'm also going to be playing another game called Pokemon TCG Pocket. Again, if you're interested in that, that's on my second channel. I love you guys. I appreciate you. More cool stuff coming soon. I have some videos I'm really excited to release, but there's that. I just wanted to talk to you for a little bit here. I know the community is frustrated, hurting. They make some decisions in this game that are it's such a weird thing because they do. I feel like it's constantly a few steps forward, a few steps back with Unite. There are things to be really excited for. I'm really excited for how they've been handling balance, that we have a new Pokemon every month. I'm really excited to see what from the Chinese version is going to come to the game, which I think is going to be a lot of stuff. And then also, you just get kind of I don't know. You just get kind of excited and then you get let down. Excited, let down. Excited, let down. But I just need to make this video to talk about me and Unite and what I'm doing as a content creator. And yeah, I don't know. And now I'm rambling at this point. So I love you all. Thank you. I will see you all very soon. More cool Unite stuff, more cool Pocket stuff. Goodbye, everybody. We did it. I don't know what we did there, but we did it.